Well, hi there, and welcome to our second transition tale. I've called it We're Not Scared, and it's a line from one of my favourite children's stories, We're Going on a Bear Hunt. And it's about a journey, a bear hunt, which starts, We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. And as the story progresses through different settings, long wavy grass, thick oozy mud, a big dark forest and so on, there's lots of accompanying sounds and actions. And always there's the call to go forward. We can't get over it, we can't get under it, we'll have to go through it. Until they come to a cave and come face to face with the bear. And now they're scared out of their minds and they leg it back through the different settings with the accompanying sounds and actions. It's great. And you see, eventually their ability to not be scared is breached and fear floods in. And you know, sometimes as Christians, we're afraid to talk about fear because we feel it can always be a sin. If I had faith, then I wouldn't have this fear. And this old saying puts it well. Fear knocked at the door. Faith answered, no one was there. Well, if only it was quite that simple. Faith appears and fear just disappears. But the reality is that they coexist. Listen to this. When God called Joshua, faith and fear are together in the calling. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. You see, being strong and courageous involved confronting their fears and choosing who or what they were going to believe. And we too have similar choices to make. It was almost 6 years ago now, we made a major move from Birmingham to London. We'd lived in Birmingham for over 30 years. Our children had grown up there, and our roots and friendships and church connections there, they were really deep. Now, we felt that God wanted us to move south to be closer to Kathy's parents. And I applied and got a church position in South London. And for the first time, we moved to a place and to a church where we knew no one. It was quite daunting, and yes, it was scary. I accepted the job, trusting that we would be able to sell and purchase a house rather than wait for us to sort out housing and then start the job. So I said I'd start on a part-time basis and journey down as much as possible. Perhaps it wasn't the most sensible option really when I think back. But then God seemed to wonderfully confirm that this was right when within a couple of weeks a family approached us and said that they had an elderly relative who was in hospital and we could stay in his flat. Now sadly he eventually died without coming home, and the family were really grateful that we could live in and look after the property. All we had to do was pay the bills. So if you like, now faith has received a tremendous boost. Well, I can remember the day and the location about 3 months later when I got a call saying our sale had fallen through, which meant that inevitably our purchase went the same way. And we were going to have to start all over again. So now we're looking at a set of circumstances where we're questioning whether what we did was right. It was like coming face to face with the bear. And fear has now received a turbo boost, and we have to make some choices as to whether we believe God is for us, or if not against us, then he doesn't appear to be with us in our journeying. But God's call to Joshua was to be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. You see, faith and fear coexist. And we have to at times show strength and courage as we confront our feelings, our emotions, our reactions, and also the insecurities that are often at the root of our fears. But what is not in doubt is God's commitment to be with us at all times, wherever we go. He's not more with us when we feel strong or less with us when we feel afraid. His promise is to never leave us. And one of my favourite New Testament verses is this. He has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Now, it's a quote, in fact, from the Old Testament. Right at the end of Moses' life, before the book of Joshua starts, Moses calls the people together, appoints Joshua as leader, and before God spoke the words to Joshua in Joshua 1, it was Moses who said to all the people, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." We may at times be scared and fearful as we move forward, but God's promise has always been that he is with us and will never leave us nor forsake us.